Hey guys, time fairness. Kind of bored, you know? The end of the world was supposed to be here, and it's not. People have been talking about it for the last, 15, 20 years, that it's coming tomorrow. And here I am, still having to go to work, still having to raise kids, still having to pay bills. I'm kind of starting to think that SHTF is never going to come. It kind of sucks. Guys, Titan Fairness, welcome back to the channel. Will SHTF ever come? That's a deep question, right? Pull your boots up because we're getting deep in here. Will it happen? SHTF, the end of the world as we know it, the rule without law, the end of all humanity. Will it ever happen? Maybe. It depends on your definition, right? It depends on your definition of what SHTF is. And it kind of depends on your definition of how widespread it has to be, and depends on your definition of what is considered SHTF. A lot of definitions. So, in my opinion, will it happen? No, I've already done videos on this. SHTF, as we preppers think of it, right, the end of all humanity, will probably never happen. If it does, and we go out like the dinosaurs, well, hell, we won't even know it, right? But what if it's small events? What if it's little events, right? Another big major war? Yeah, that could probably happen. Another Great Depression, again. Hyperinflation, big superstorms. Fires, house fires, floods, damages, hurricanes, you name it. Those can happen. So what is your definition of an SHTF event? Mine is an SHTF event is anything that could take my life or the life of my children. You see your car breaking down on the side of the road is not really an SHTF event. It's an inconvenient event. It's a pain in the ass event, but it's not life-threatening until it is. Right? You break down in the middle of fall where it's 75 degrees and you're a mile from town and you got your cell phone signal and you're great. You can call AAA, you can call your buddy to come pick you up. You're good, right? It's not an SHTF event, it's an inconvenience. But you break down in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone reception, and you got your kids in the back, and it's 12 degrees outside, and you don't have cold weather equipment because you're in shorts and flip-flops, and the closest town is 40 miles away in the deep snow, uphill both ways. That is an SHTF event, right? Because your kids' life, somebody's life is at danger, whether you walk to the next town or whether you stay put. That now becomes an SHTF event. So will that happen? It happens all the time. I can't remember the amount of stories that I saw from the Texas power outage a couple years back where people were just trying to get up to the store a couple miles away and got caught in snowbanks. Well, now they're out in the middle of the elements with barely anything on, freezing to death. This happens everywhere. The New York, New Jersey, Chicago, the Dakotas, Montana, Colorado. Every time there's a big snowy event, people try to leave their homes and they get stuck in the middle of nowhere in the snow. Now, where I live, there's plenty of places that you're not going to find cell phone signal. So that happens and you can't find cell phone signal, it can quickly become a life or death event. Will the end of the world as we know it happen? Depends on who you ask. You ask an American, 2008 was a terrible situation, right? Most people lost their jobs. Most people lost their homes. Many people had to leave where they know and love looking for work. You ask someone in Venezuela, they've been going through the SHTF for the last 10 years. They've learned to adapt, and they've learned that their dollar, whatever it's called, the bolivar, is not worth anything, so they found ways around it. Sure, the first year or two was hard, but they've gotten smarter, they've gotten better. You ask people during the Great Depression what was the hardest part, and they said having no money. They had everything but money. So, will SHTF ever happen? If you think a movie like The Road, or How It Ends, or The Terminator will ever happen, probably not. Okay, let me just go ahead and bust that bubble now. Sorry. Disappointment bubble. Even though your big time prepper channels are saying that it's happening tomorrow every single day, it has yet to happen, right? At this point in time, we should have done been killed over like a million times. War with North Korea, war with Syria, nuclear Armageddon with Russia, nuclear Armageddon with who knows whomever, alien invasion, Russian invasion, the Chinese spy balloon dropping biochemical warfare, right? Murder hornets. They talked about it like it was going to happen, and it didn't. A end of the world scenario apocalyptic, you and everyone you know and love is going to kill over dead, or turn into zombies, or get abducted by aliens, or, have to eat your neighbor, will never happen. That doesn't mean personal SHTF events won't happen. That doesn't mean that environmental SHTF events won't happen. Local, national events won't happen. Just in the last couple years, we've had scenarios and situations that pushed people out of their homes, pushed people out of their daily lives, and made them flee. They became refugees because of events. Whether that be hurricanes, whether that be dams busting, whether that be a train derailment that leaked who knows what into the atmosphere. People had to flee for their lives. That, many would consider, is an SHTF scenario. It is not a end of the world apocalyptic scenario, right? Those things were affecting these small little communities. So if you're sitting here waiting for the end of the world to come, sorry, I got some bad news for you. But that doesn't mean that personal or national or local SHTF events won't come. So stop believing the hype that we're all going to turn into zombies or get abducted by aliens or have to fight for the last cat we see because of a nuclear Armageddon, like the Book of Eli, like the road. But start prepping up for the real world things. Will SHTF ever happen? It happens every single day. It happens to millions of people when they lose power. It happens to millions of people when their tire goes flat on the side of the road. It happens to people when the power goes out in the middle of the summer, middle of winter. It happens when people's homes catch on fire, when they get hit with hurricanes or tornadoes. It happens every single day. It's not world ending, it's not world altering, but it is an SHTF event and you should be prepared for it. Be prepared for your personal SHTF events. Be ready. We're seeing more and more of them every single day. Y'all stay safe out there. Let me know down below in the comments if you agree or disagree. That's all I got. D2 out.